must now get ready to unleash Project Zeus with their app, Hobbyist. Take it away, Tanzil.
Welcome to the unveil of Project Zeus. So for the past 3 weeks, we've been experimenting, designing, and now we've generated this app called Hobbyist. We designed it based on the lockdown and what we've experienced over the last kind of like 1.5 years, how everyone's been holed up at home. They've not had much time to like socialize and maybe like been a bit more at home and not, you know, actively going about and doing stuff like they normally do. So we decided, okay, well, people are going to have to get social again, aren't they? They're going to have to come back, you know, bounce straight after this and, you know, start getting to grips with, you know, we're going to go out and do that again, and we're going to go to our club, we're going to go swimming, this and that. But so we decided, let's create something based around that, and this is Hobbyist. We had a couple of more inspirations within our team. We had a couple of our team members, they have younger children, so they decided, you know what, it's something that we'd actually use. It's actually got a purpose for it. They would like, for example, they'd go painting, or they'd, you know, do some after school club for a kid or something like that. It's got a real world use case, so that, you know, it kept in mind, like, okay, it's not just an app that we're building for the project, it's something, you know, we'd actually actively use ourselves. So with that, we're going to go through the slide and go to the team, actually. So this is an overview of our presentation. We're going to go meet the team, little demo, and go through the stuff that we've done. So let's meet the team. So Project Zeus consists of 5 of us. So that's Amy, Victoria, Adam, Matt, and myself. And we all worked across this, you know, in the front end and the back end. We managed to switch roles and, you know, incorporate different pieces into our own, you know, when we were going through it, we managed to get a glimpse of what's happening here, what's happening there, and manage, you know, keep on top of everything, and made sure we didn't miss anything out and catch up. So we go next. So I'd like to hand it over to Matt now, who will explain a bit more about the app and give us a demo.
Thank you very much, Tanzil. Yes, I will move on to the demo now. Here you can see the login screen for Hobbyist. If we click on accounts, we have 2 options: personal account, where we can search for hobbies in our area, or a business account, where more specifically you can actually post those hobbies to your members. To sign up, you need a little bit of information initially, with more information requested later. But for now, let's sign up with my account, which is a business user. It's Matt123. Please no one steal my login. And with a password of I love Northcoders. And if we spelt that wrong, we can actually check with a little eye icon. Lovely. Let's sign in. Here is the homepage of Hobbyist that actually renders all of the clubs from our database in a nice card format that we can scroll through and have a look what we like. Let's click on Shooting Stars. I like the look of that one. Cool. Here's the club page for Shooting Stars, where we can see more information about that club. If we like what we see, we can go onto the business page and see who actually runs this club. Al's pitches, fantastic. There's his contact information. I'll give him a call and book a slot for his next club. Let's draw our attention to the search bar at the bottom now. If we click across to that, we actually get a filter form. Whereas as you can see, there's plenty of different ways we can filter this data. However, if we submit an empty form, it will present all of our data in a nice mapped format. Here, we can click around the markers and it will load a card based on the geolocation of each club. So as we go through, we have a look. Now, this data is a little cluttered, so let's actually go back and filter it. Let's go for music, see what we get. Cool, 4 results. Let's take a look. £29 is a little steep for me on that one, so let's go back and actually add a max price of £20. Perfect, 3 results. Let's take a look at these. Now I notice that the experience level is a little low, so let's add an advanced skill set. Perfect, just the 1 result. Let's take a look. £5 music advanced sounds good to me. And again, we get the club page. And if we like what we see, we can progress to the business page to get some more details. Cool, we get the contact information for this club, so we can reach out and make a booking. Now, if I draw your attention to the hamburger tab at the top, we can access our profile at any time. This profile is our user profile, where it shows all of the data related to us as the club. We can edit our profile. And more specifically, we can actually add a club to our database for other users to filter. That concludes the demo of Hobbyist. I would like to now pass over to Victoria, who's going to talk through our technical stack.
Thank you, Matt. We can move to the next slide. Before choosing our tech stack, we were using tools such as GitHub, Trello, and Slack to practice agile methodologies, including Kanban board, extreme programming, and daily stand-ups. These help us to work effectively while working remotely. As part of the technical decision-making process, we use Merge stack of MongoDB, Express, React Native, and Node to develop our application. As a development framework with extensive documentation available, we chose this tech stack for its popularity in the tech industry and its ability to support modifications. One of the major changes we made to the Merge stack was to use React Native to optimize our application for the mobile technologies. For the backend, we use Jest as a testing framework and Mongoose as our data modeling library. And for the front end, we used Expo and Android Studio to test application. Many of these technologies we weren't taught on the course, and so we took it upon ourselves to learn this, such as MongoDB and React Native. And now I will pass you over to Amy, who will explain why we haven't chosen this particular tech stack. Thank you.
Thank you, Victoria. So whenever an address is entered into our app, whether that's a new user or a club or something existing, a request is automatically sent to the OpenStreetMaps API. This converts the address entered into GeoJSON data, which is then stored in our MongoDB database, ready to be fetched when the user wants to see these on our map. The filtering of the clubs takes a number of queries from the front end and conditionally builds these up into a single query to the database to find all clubs matching these particular parameters. We then display these on our map as location points. This is part of the reason why we chose MongoDB as our database solution, as the ability to apply flexible and complex queries allow us to receive the exact data we want very efficiently. Additionally, we found that the NoSQL document style database was much more suited to our data over the others we considered, such as the more structured and rigid SQL databases, such as Postgres. We considered AWS and Azure for hosting. However, we decided to go with Heroku for its optimized integration with Mongo Atlas, and our team was already familiar with this particular platform. Therefore, we could focus our efforts on learning and exploring the new tech we're excited to use. We chose Express as our back-end framework as it's perfectly suited for rapid application development. For the front end, we decided on React Native as we felt our idea was perfect as a mobile app rather than a website. And we wanted a user-first experience with simultaneous development on both Android and iOS platforms. And now I'll pass you over to Adam to discuss problems we encountered along the way.
Thank you, Amy. As my team will tell you, I'm a massive Peep Show fan, so if any of you aficionados out there have already spotted the reference, I'll quote another line from a famous man, Mark Corrigan. Every window is also a door. This was not necessarily all peaches and cream throughout the process. We had routine issues of debugging and error handling during the development phase. So to counteract some of these problems, we used agile methodologies such as pair programming to counter delays and account for time spent problem solving. As Victoria mentioned, we had a lot of new technologies in the mix, not necessarily stuff that we had covered on the course specifically. And as with all new technologies, these could deliver high risk or reward, depending on which were successful in the spiking process and which we chose to take forward and implement. To avoid going down any rabbit holes and to avoid spending too much time on any one strand off of the main project, we use consistent communication across the team using technologies such as Slack, such as a Trello board as well. That ensured that our time was managed effectively. We kept on track and on target. Talking about this time-sensitive delivery aspects of the project, we had very ambitious plans from the offset, from the planning phase. We had talked about additional functionality in the geolocation of using the Maps API. We talked about an in-built messaging part of the app, which we would potentially develop as a component. We even talked about e-commerce as well, and to think about maybe integrating paying for these clubs within our app as well. However, as you know, all things must be within the finite time and resources of a project, and to keep to our minimum viable product to deliver on time and on target. We chose to take a path which we knew that we could deliver, and we knew that we could bring to the floor today and to show you. So we are Project Zeus. Thank you very much for your time. This has been our demo of Hobbyist. Any questions? Thank you.